Hello, my name is Kat Aguilar, and to start off the video, I want to summarize the main points of the midterm before I begin to analyze the film again using a more theoretical approach. For the scene that I will be discussing, I initially discussed camera movement, and more specifically, how the steadiness of the camera is parallel to the character's emotions and the overall mood of the scene. Also, I pointed out the use of different shot types to convey to viewers how the characters feel without having to outright say. Though I will continue to discuss these two topics, I want to further expand on how this scene specifically can be dissected more in depth with the film concepts discussed over the past semester. Now, before I begin, here's the full uncut scene that will be examined.
여기 오지 않았으면 좋았을 텐데. 여기 오는 게 아니었는데.
タマコ、水彩画の準備してきたよな。
もちろんでございます、旦那様。水彩画の絵のことを水彩画の。
油絵の具に描いてくれないか。こんな天気の日には油絵か。持ってこいだ。
The handheldness of the camera is very apparent throughout the scene. Scholar Kenneth Johnson describes this experience in his essay, The Point of View of the Wandering Camera. Wandering camera is a unique aspect of cinematic discourse. When the camera movement of a shot does not support its mediating role, when it is allowed to flaunt its present tense existence in the face of the narrative's past tense, then the camera wanders, sometimes appropriated as a semi-presence in the world. We can see this here when many of the shots meant to convey Seolki's point of view does not follow her direct eye line, but we as the viewer, or the camera itself, can see Seolki in the foreground. Johnson also said, it is specifically camera movement in an unmotivated situation that gives the wandering camera a unique sense of presence in the diegesis. Under motivated circumstances, the camera's movement can represent the perpetual point of view of a character's subjective camera. The dynamic between the supposed camera and Seolki is what makes the scene so interesting. Daniel Morgan says in his book, The Lure of an Image, shots repeatedly began as if the camera were at the position of the character, a belief that is often confirmed by the additional formal device of a shot-reverse shot structure. Then, as the camera moves, the character through whose eyes we thought we were looking comes into view. It's an effect that produces a jolt, a surprise, a moment of deep uncertainty. It's not that we are somehow ejected from the world of the film, made to feel an ontological gulf. This feeling is more prosaic, but also more powerful. The camera here shows us a different view, though viewers understand that we are meant to be seeing what she is seeing, what she knows and feels. Then, here, we move to a point of view. That, like I said before, the handholdness is most present. Viewers are looking directly at Lady Hideku through the eyes of Seolki, so rather than guessing what she is feeling, viewers get to experience firsthand how Seolki views the situation. To continue, just in this small segment of the film, there are different shot types shown with different angles as well. They are all unique, but what does this signify? In Erwin Panofsky's book, The Perspective as a Symbolic Form, he says, perspective creates distance between human beings and things. Before, I had tried to argue this exact point. In this scene, we are looking through the eyes of Seolki. She is looking up at the lady in the count, not down. And this leads me to believe that the camera in the shot-reverse shot creates a barrier between these characters. Another obvious barrier being the class difference between a young, wealthy noblewoman and handmaiden. At this point, there very well could be a physical brick wall between these characters, and there wouldn't be a difference. In Secondary Pleasures, Spatial Occupation, and Post-Colonial Departures, Park Chan-wook's Ajichi, The Handmaiden, and Sarah Waters' Fingersmith, it is said that Park, as in Park Chan-wook, adds further to the frame of Japanese colonialization By playing with the different camera angles and the proximity of the distance between his human subjects to suggest different models of equalization, assimilation, and the assumption of power. This is just another added element of an imbalanced power dynamic as the story takes place in a Japanese-occupied Korea in the 1930s. All of these elements come together as viewers are piecing together the story and the meaning behind the actions of the characters. Also, the scene catches a glimpse into what will become of the story. Despite the male character's exploitative use of erotica throughout the film, the same erotica empowers Sadoko in her sexual relationship with Soki. As a story, a queer story at that, The Handmaiden slowly opens up to show how two women are able to have one another through the hardest of experiences. As previously mentioned, the movement of the camera and how it is angled work in combination to create the narrative.